Chris, thank you. So still some questions about what happens next when it comes to President Biden and Kamala Harris. President Biden obviously dropping out of the race on Sunday.
Right. So we want to bring in our Marshall Zelinger to give some clarity to all of this. Marshall, good morning.
Good morning. My work from home studio has changed in a few years.
It certainly has. Thank you for being with us. We appreciate getting some extra context here. What exactly does Kamala Harris actually need to officially secure this nomination?
The support of 300 people who have already been picked as delegates to go to the Democratic National Convention. So 300 signatures from people, no more than 50 from one state. So Colorado may or may not have a delegate who signs this petition to allow her to be the a nominee or a possible nominee. Anybody could do that. 300 signatures are all you need. And it's the people that were sent to the DNC as delegates based on states making decisions after the presidential primaries.
Marshall, last time we saw something like this, it was back in 1968. Talk about what happened then and what's changed since.
Well, it was an open primary or an open convention in 1968 with a president not seeking re-election. And then you had several candidates running for that nomination. That's what is possible to see. That was again in Chicago in 1968. And this is where the DNC is this time around next month. So you can see that again. We know Vice President Kamala Harris is going to be put into nomination. The question is, will other people seek that nomination? There is a calculus behind whether you do it or not, potentially wanting to show competition for the vice president, political future for people who don't think you should do that. And maybe you won't be able to run for president 4 or 8 years from now if you make that decision. But anybody who wants to get those signatures could run. And then you have votes by the delegates at the Democratic National Convention.
And Marshall, a question we're hearing from a lot of voters out there is if they're going to get a chance to weigh in on any of this outside of the comment sections on social media, will they get a say, or is this going to be left up to delegates?
Technically, and we didn't know this, I guess, but you had your say at the presidential primary in March. In Colorado, 83% of the voters chose President Biden. And so the Democrats, the Colorado Democratic Party, chose delegates based on that decision by Colorado voters. And so the delegates sent to the DNC from Colorado are Biden supporters. So thus you might think maybe they're also Harris supporters since she was on the ticket. So voters already had their say by picking the candidates. And then the caucus and assembly process that the primary replaced still exists. And that's how these delegates got picked to go get sent to Chicago. And so in a way, you could say you had your say to trust the people that were picked based on your choice, but your choice as the state was Biden. And so now, yeah, voters are left out of the process of picking the next person, but they picked the people to speak for them next month. If that's probably clear as mud. It's as clear as I could make it, I think.
No, we're totally following you, absolutely. Yeah. But I have a feeling you're going to be very busy over the next few days because there's still a lot up in the air. So we really appreciate you joining us this morning.
Absolutely.